Bohnanza. So in a 3-player game, you're going to play with 3 fields, so this side of the card. But if you're only playing 4 or more, you play with the 2 fields. So I'm setting up for a 4-player game here. So you set up with 2 fields. The person who's eaten beans the most recently becomes the starting player. And the nice thing is it's got your turn cards, the phases of the game. So each player would get one of those as well. You're only going to be using green beans, red beans, black-eyed beans, soybeans, stink beans, garden beans, blue beans, and chili beans. So, and that's all mixed in there, shuffled like a regular deck. Everybody gets dealt out 5, just like you would deal a normal game. And a center pile. Now, here's the trick of this game. Some people will have a hard time with this. You cannot change the order how you pick these cards up. So if you pick it up stink bean, chili bean, blue bean, green bean, they stay in that order. They come the way they come, and you pick them up the way they picked up. So I'm going to set these ones up as well. Okay, so the idea of this game is you're going to be planting the beans in your field. And on the card you'll see on the bottom, if I have 3 of that card in that field when I harvest, I get 1 coin. If I had 5, I get 2 coins. If I had 7, I get 3 coins. 8, I get 4 coins. Now, the top number here indicates how many of those cards are available in this game. So that tells you as well. Now each one, like the chili bean, is going to be different. It's 3, 6, 8, and 9. There's 18 cards available, so a lot more. Blue bean, you have 4, 6, 8, and 10, and there's 20 cards available. So it's gonna vary. Some are easier, some are harder in that regard. Starting of your turn, you have to take from the top of your cards and plant in your field. You can take 1 or 2. You can plant in the same field. So I'm lucky I had 2 stink beans on top. So I'm planting them in my first field. I'm not going to plant anything in my second field. That's the start of my turn. The second phase of your turn is 2 cards from the draw pile for trading. So I've got red beans, 2 of them. Now, I can take these to myself. In this case of this game, it would make sense. Instead of trading them or doing anything, I can plant them both in one field and I'm kind of done. Or I can say I'm going to trade them, and then you can trade any card in your hand in any location. You don't take it out of your hand until you've done trading. So example, player here goes, I'll trade you 2 red beans for 2 chili beans. Now, advantage of that, if he says that, I don't know what he's got, of course, is I've got a chili bean available right away. I can get the 3rd one out, like right away. This guy looks, he doesn't have any red beans, so it doesn't make any sense. And this guy doesn't have any red beans, it doesn't make much of a sense as well. Red beans only have 8 of them, so it's a little bit harder one to get. So we're just going to say he does trade 2 chili beans for the red beans. Now they go sideways on beside your mat until you plant them at the end of the trading phase. You can trade any number of cards. I could trade all 4 of my cards for 1 card. I am in charge of trading right now because I'm the starting player. So now I'm going to go, does anybody have stink beans out there? Because I'm looking for stink beans. I'm willing to trade a chili bean or a blue bean. So this guy goes, yes, I have a stink bean. I'm willing to trade the stink bean for a blue bean. So we go, okay, we'll trade. So that'll go there beside his board. This one will go here beside my board. Now I'm gonna go, anybody else want to trade? I'm still looking for stink beans or chili beans. I've got a green bean to trade. And this guy goes, yes, I have a stink bean I'm willing to trade. So you can stink bean for a green bean. So I can put the stink bean there. And again, it goes beside your board. All I've got left is a chili bean. And I go, okay, that's the end of the trading. I'm done. Now, at the end of your trade, I must be able to plant all my newly acquired beans in the trades. So the chili beans would go in the second field. And then, because I got two stink beans, they can go in this field here. Now the nice thing about it is I've already got 4 stink beans. And you only need 3 to get a coin. 1 more and I can get 2 coins. And the chili beans, 3 to get 1 coin. So I've already got 2. And I've got another one here. So it's the end of my turn. It's going to be this gentleman's turn now. He's got 2 red beans, so he plants those in his field. He plants that in his field. And he plants that in his field. And then at the end of that turn, I pick up 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3, and they go in behind again. And again, it's the same thing again. I can't change this order. They come as they come. So it's really annoying because I'd love to pull this one out to put on there right away, but I can't. And I've got a red bean and a stink bean again. Now, it's this gentleman's turn. So he's gonna go, he has to plant something, so he's gonna plant a black-eyed pea bean. And he's got those 2. And then he's gonna get 2, 1, 2. And he has no need for a soybean, as you can see, because he's got black-eyed beans, red beans. He has no use for a stink bean. I've got a stink bean though. So now he's going to see if we can trade. My soybean, he's got a blue bean out, and he's got a green bean out. So he goes, I'm willing to trade. I'll trade you a red bean for a stink bean. And he goes, yep, that sounds like a good trade. So he gets that one beside his board. I get this one beside my board. Now the advantage of that one, as you can see, I had the red bean in between my chili beans. Now I pull that red bean out. Now on my next turn, I can play both of those because they're both up. So you can play up to 2 cards at the beginning. That'll get me 4 chili beans right off the bat on my next turn. Okay, so now he's got a soybean. Well, he's not very interested. He's not interested. I'm not interested at all. I don't want a soybean. Got a soybean on top. So he would go, okay, I'll take the soybean. He'll say, I'll just take the soybean as a gift. Now you can do that as well if they're willing to take it, and he is. So he's going to take that. You don't even have to trade. It's the end of the turn. There's no more trading. He's looking for black-eyed beans. Asked anybody. Nobody's willing to trade a black-eyed bean. He's looking for red beans. Nobody's got red beans that are willing to trade. He's the only one that's allowed to initiate the trades because it's his turn. And then it's the end of the turn. So again, now everybody plants their beans. And everybody's planted. He's refilled his cards. And we move on to the next player. So he's going to start by planting a soybean. And he's allowed to plant 2, so he plants a blue bean. And then he is going to put those cards there for now. And then he's got the 2 he's got coming. So he's going to go, no, I'm just going to keep the blue bean. I'm not even going to trade it. So that goes there. And he goes up for grabs is a green bean. Well, so he goes, hey, wait a second. I'm collecting green beans. Do you want a blue bean? And yep. So he gets the blue bean. He gets the green bean. He can initiate any trades he wants. He's got 2 green beans he can trade. But that's in his hand still. That's his hand. He's not going to want green beans. I'm not going to want green beans. And he would like green beans, but I don't think he has anything that they want. So he goes, that's the end of my turn. You're going to take the 2 and plant. He's going to plant. I've got nothing to plant. He's got nothing to plant. And he's going to take 3 more cards. Now it's going to be his turn. He has to plant a soybean. So now he's got one of 2 choices. Well, he actually has only one choice. You need to do the pile that has more than 1 first. So he has to sell these off. He has to harvest that field. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in that field. So if you look at the card, if it's got 5 in that field, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 coins. So he's harvesting that field, you get 4 coins. So 1, 2, 3, 4. To get coins, you flip them over, and those are worth coins. Now we've got a discard pile. We'll throw that there in the discard pile. He's got an empty field, so now he can plant at the beginning of your turn, 1 or 2. He's planted the 1. Now he's okay to play. Now he'll flip. Stink bean and another stink bean. Well, he's not interested in stink beans. He doesn't have any. He's looking for blue beans and soybeans. He's looking for green beans and chili beans. I'm looking for stink beans. So now, take a look in my hand. I've got a red bean. That doesn't help him. I've got a soybean and a blue bean. So he is willing to take a soybean for 1. So I take 1 and put it there. Now he's going to get stuck with that other one. So now he's got one of 2 options. He can give it away if somebody will take it. Most likely I would, because I already have stink bean started. But if nobody were to take it, he actually has to keep it and get rid of another one that he started and discard them, because he doesn't have 2 of the black-eyed beans. So he would have to discard it into the pile, and then he can, at the end of the turn, we can all plant again. At any time, you can harvest. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, which is the maximum for 4. So that's my 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 coins to go in my coin bank, and these would all be discarded into there. Then the next time around I have an empty field to play. So you keep going around this way. You can make as many trades as you want if you're the person in charge. At the end, you go through the pile first time. So if we went through the pile the first time, you'd shuffle everything back together again. And then you'd go through the pile a second time. And once you're done the second time, that's the end of the game. It's a matter of just counting up what you've got in your coin bank as your end score. So as you play and you get more and more, as you can see, your coin bank will increase, and nobody knows, can remember, well, most people don't remember what's in your coin bank as the cards you used, like if you use stink beans, etc., etc. So at the beginning of the game, there was 16 available of the stink bean, but at the second time you go through, there's less and less cards available. So you really have to use your advantage to smaller harvests or remember your cards to keep it going. Like I've said in the past, I really enjoy this game because you can play up to 7 players. It's a quick one to learn. You get haggling pretty good. You get a lot of excitement going when you're trying to trade. Make sure you keep it organized. The person that is their turn is the person in charge of the trades. You'll find at times you're trying to trade with somebody else that you're not supposed to be trading with, but that's what makes it exciting, especially when you're playing with 7 players. It's a faster paced game. It moves pretty quick when you're playing with 4 or 5 people. It's pretty simplistic. The artwork I find is really nice on it. It's fun to look at the beans. No, it's a good game all around. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough with Bohnanza. Hope you have a great day.